good morning, and welcome to Follow Up Friday. It's so great to be here with you today. I'm exactly on time today. I haven't been lately, right, coming on right at 10, but here I am. So today I'm going to be talking about something super, super important. So do you ever freeze up when you're inviting people to work with you? So if you're having a conversation, enrollment conversation, you're meeting with somebody for a discovery session, they've reached out to you and they said, I want to learn more about what you have to offer. And you're on the call, you've shared everything that you do with them, and then you freeze up and maybe you don't make the invitation or your energy gets wonky. Does that ever happen to you? If you can relate to this, then stay tuned, because today I'm going to be sharing 3 things that you can do, 3 ways you can overcome this nervousness that you might feel so that you can more powerfully invite people to work with you. So please feel free to share this video with anyone you know who could benefit from having higher enrollment. If people are struggling enrolling clients during discovery sessions, please send this over to them. And if you're watching the replay, please don't be shy. Post down below wherever you're seeing this. It's going all over social media. Just post any questions, comments, takeaways, anything that you want to connect with me about, and I will come back in and respond. Okay. So if you're new to my page here, I'm Debbie Hoffman. I am a sales and follow-up expert, and I coach my clients who are having trouble because they're letting potential clients and income slip through the cracks because they don't have a reliable and effective sales and follow-up system in place. And I support you to create a step-by-step process so you know what to do and what to say at every step of the way, and ultimately have more of your ideal clients saying yes to working with you. All right, so I'm curious. So the problem, again, just to represent it, is that people are going through their discovery sessions. They're getting to the point where they're going to invite somebody to work with them. They've shared their programs and packages, and then they freeze up, or they get nervous, they get wonky, and they either don't make the invitation or they do it in a very insecure way. And people feel energy, right? Energy is very subtle, but very powerful. So I'm just curious, what gets in the way, if you're relating to this, what gets in the way of you powerfully asking people to work with you? I'd love you to share in your comment, in the comments below. If you're receiving this through email, please reply back and email me. I will read every single one of your comments, okay? I just want to know what comes up, if anything. And if you powerfully invite people to work with you every time and it's not an issue, please put that down below too. So some people tell me that they feel salesy or pushy, or that they have a hard time asking for money. Like, a lot of people have money issues. So maybe you can relate to that. So I'm going to share 3 things that you can do to help you through this process so that you can stand in your power and invite people to work with you in a way that just feels authentic and congruent with who you are, that's really serving the other person. Okay. So first, at the beginning of your conversation, your discovery session, or whatever that meeting is, when somebody's reached out to find out more about what you do, and you're there, you're finding about their challenges and struggles and what they want to create, let them know at the beginning of the call that at the end of your time together, if you both feel you're a good fit, you're going to invite them to work with you. So you're like seeding that you're going to be, inviting them at the end. And that way they're kind of ready and waiting. And of course, they wouldn't have reached out to you if they didn't expect that you were going to invite them to work with you, right? Like, there's an assumption there. But obviously, if they're not a good fit, if they're not your ideal client, or you think someone else could better serve them, please be in integrity around that. A lot of coaches are enrolling people into these big, expensive programs when they're not ready. I had this happen to one of my clients, and it broke my heart. And by the time she got to me, she was just so frustrated and spending all this time doing all these things and creating funnels and all this stuff when she was brand new. And she didn't need all of that. And she ended up having to go back to work because she ran out of her savings. So you don't want to enroll people in a program or package or service that you offer if they're not the right fit. Please, this industry needs more integrity. Okay. All right, so that's the first thing. Let them know at the beginning so they're ready and waiting. And so when you do invite them, they'll go, oh, she did, or he told me that they were going to invite me to work with them. All right, so that's step 1. Then step 2 is really important. Prepare the questions you're going to ask people. Prepare your step-by-step process of what you're going to ask people and the conversation you're going to take them through during your discovery session. Because if you don't, you'll just be winging it, and then there won't be any flow and continuity. And there's so much power in having it outlined in advance. Perfect example of this, I have a client who is a business consultant, and she coaches women as well, entrepreneurs. And she had no process for her discovery sessions. She was just winging it, like whatever came out, and her conversion was very low. So we worked on her discovery session process step by step, the entire conversation and what it would look like and what she would ask. So we custom tailored the questions to her business, because it's different than mine. The next week, she had 2 enrollment conversations, and both women said yes to working with her on the spot. So she brought in $14,000, and she said, so much easier now. So when you have processes in place and templates in place, it's going to make all the difference in the world. And my Power Up Your Sales program that's starting next Tuesday, we go into discovery sessions. I share my template with you, and we go into the enrollment conversation, how to invite people to work with you. So very, very powerful program. Okay, so you want to create the gap between where they want to go, like what they want to create, and where they are now. So I always take people into the future first and have them dream and think big of what they want to have happen in their life or business, whatever it is that you work with people on, and then bring them back to where they are now and what challenges are getting in the way of them creating that dream life or that dream business, okay? So like I mentioned, they're waiting for that moment. The natural next step is for you to make the invitation. So if you have a solution to their problem and you're not making the invitation, I really believe that you're doing them a disservice if you don't invite them to start working with you, because they could still be struggling with that issue if you don't make the invitation. So this way, when you have it all laid out in advance, you're not going to go down a rabbit hole. You're going to have a much more powerful, engaging, connected conversation, and you'll stay on track. Okay, so that's step 2. All right, step 3. Always, always, always ask for permission to share how you can support them. So what I mean by this is, after you've shared with them, or they've shared where they want to go, where they are now, what's getting in the way, you can then ask them, would you like to hear about how I can support you? Or I've designed some packages or programs or whatever you have to support clients who are going through issues like you are. Would you like to hear about them? Because they might not be interested. And if you steamroll into that conversation and they're not interested, they're going to tune out anyway, and they're going to think you're being pushy and aggressive, and you're going to waste time and energy, right? So that's the mistake that so many people make. They just assume and they go right into that conversation. So ask for permission, and then ask them, if you work with people one-on-one and in groups, ask them, I'm just curious, do you have a preference when you work with a coach? Do you prefer to be in a group program and get the support of the community and have accountability from other folks and also get support from the coach? Or do you prefer to have one-on-one hand-holding and have a more customized approach? So ask for permission. Like I mentioned, we go into this in module 4 in my Power Up Your Sales program. So if you're interested in getting support with increasing your conversion and having more powerful enrollment conversations and discovery sessions, please reach out. If you have any questions, just email me at debbie@powerupyourfollowup.com, or go to the sales page, powerupyourfollowup.com/PUYS for Power Up Your Sales. We'll post everything down below as well. All right, hope you got some value out of what I shared today. That's always my intention. If you have any topics you'd like me to cover in future videos, please reach out and let me know. I'm here to serve you and support you in whatever areas you need support. All right, have a great week, and I'll see you next week on Follow Up Friday. Bye for now.